My people, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Saeed TV. We are live for the MUFC Unfiltered podcast on a Sunday evening, bringing you all the latest news regarding Manchester United. And we are 24 hours after that. For me, a very, very disappointing result at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And to discuss it and to discuss all the Man United news, I've got my guy Double A in the building, fresh new setup. Cameras looking crisp. It's a shame that Man United are looking crisp, innit? You know what I mean? It's crazy.
I thought you were going to say a shame about your face. I was going to say, there's no need for that.
No. Come on, man. Nah. I never do that to you, bro. I never do that to you, man. You know what I mean? No homo, man. You know what I mean? You're a good-looking guy, man. So big up to you, bro.
Oh, mate, stop. My girlfriend's there. She'll be going mad. She'll be coming after you. You're only down the road now. She'll be coming after you.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Or she'll be saying you can have him. It's one of the two, innit? To be fair, depending what mood, depending if I've done stuff around the house. That's normally what happens.
Yeah, facts. But how are you, man? Other than football, how you been coping? Chelsea, I've given us a lift today. Chelsea, the mighty Chelsea, eh?
Yeah, but the thing is, though, it's like laughing at someone else's house burning down when your kitchen's got a fire in it, mate. It's hard to laugh at other clubs.
Yeah.
You've got, your own house. But now, other than that, I'm good. Like I say, moved house this week. It's been a bit of a mad week. So obviously that's what I went on last week, and it's been a bit COVID the week before that. Like I was back in 2020. It's been a weird 2 weeks, but it's good to be back. So big up to you, Saeed, for having me on. Flawless. It's good to see you again. And the best chat on YouTube. I'm looking forward to having what is going to be probably a funny conversation. I'm expecting lots of Arsenal fans to be up in. Someone's in the chat saying, "Do I think Shaw's world class?" When did I say Shaw was world class? Have
No, you did it. It wasn't you. It was James. It was James.
It was a show,
and what's his name?
Because I've had the same thing. Because people asked me and was like, "Yo, do you think Shaw's world class?" And I was like, and he was like, "Saeed channel." I was like, "There's no way Saeed said that." And he was like, "No, Saeed didn't say it. There was people on his channel who said it." I was like, "All right."
It's making it like I've said it. I don't think it's world class. No, absolutely not.
Yeah. No, big up, man. And obviously Flawless in the building. Flawless, what are you saying, bro?
I'm blessed, man. Big up for having me. As always look forward to the show, man. It's always good. Despite the Manchester United result, I always look forward to the show, whether we win, whether we lose, or whatever not. So, yeah, big up for having me. Always good to see Double A. Big up Andy as well. And shouts to the chat as well. Bump up those likes, though, man. Let's get this show where it should be. MUFC
Absolutely.
Unfiltered podcast. Whether you're a United fan or a rival fan here to laugh at our pain, hit the like button and subscribe to Saeed's channel as well. Make sure you do so.
Absolutely, man. And obviously, subscribe to these guys' channels. Talking Kit and Sarcasm City. Links in the description. Fuad Kudani, a couple of super chats have already come in before we start. Rabio's balling out of Juve. Perfect Eric Ten Hag Midfield. And Alien Tello, big up to you, mate. 250 quid ripped on a United away. Cheers, lads. Listen, man. Big up to everybody who goes to away games and whatnot, and gives their support to the channel, support to the team. But yeah, Double A, man. How are you feeling 24 hours after? Like, how's your overall mood? Because I'm not gonna lie, my head was still hot in the morning. I was like, how on earth did that happen? Like, why are we so easy to get beat away from home? That's no wins against the top 6 or even the top 9 last season. No wins against the top 9 last season.
Yeah, it's very worrying, isn't it? I think it's like I was quickly brought back down to earth on Monday. I think I was quite livid. I was on obviously a different channel straight after, and I was livid. I was hurt, and I was taking out on certain players that probably didn't need to. And I think we look forward to this season so much, regardless of preseason, because preseason sometimes doesn't mean anything. It's about fitness, and we was hoping we saw a continuation of last season, Manchester United being a tough team to beat and a good team at home, and seeing the progression of that. Yes, it's only with 2 signings, but we were expecting more, and to see us come down to earth against a team who had a manager for 5 days and who played us off the park and had more of an identity than we've got in 5 days is crazy. So going into this game, for some reason, I felt a little bit optimistic, and the reason I felt like that is because of the fallout from Wolves. It took me back to the 2 games last season we lost, and then we had Liverpool, and I knew they would show up for Liverpool because it was the biggest game. It's the biggest game at Old Trafford for the season, and we needed to win. So for that reason, I felt a little bit confident. And then the first half was really, really promising, and I thought, right, that's fine. Second half capitulated, and obviously, yeah, I'm pissed off and I'm annoyed, but there's reasonings behind it, and it goes deeper than the manager. It goes deeper than the players are on the pitch, which we all know and we all talk about a lot on this channel. But I think the lucky thing for me is I was a season ticket holder during the Moyes season, so as soon as I come home, it's out of my head now, and I've moved on. I've had a good Sunday, but it's what United need now is a good week because we've got another tough game coming up. But overall, it's disheartening and it's worrying more than anything. And I'm not mad, I'm not upset, I'm more worried. That's probably the best emotion I can say that I'm feeling right now.
Yeah. No, listen, I echo them thoughts, mate. I think for me, I would say it was a good first 20, 30 minutes. And then, to be fair, Tottenham had some decent chances, but we also had some chances. We should have had a penalty, and we should have had a goal for Bruno Fernandes.
Should have had 2
penalties. But again, well, there you go. 2 penalties, one at the end as well in the second half. But again, that was brought out. It was at 2-0, so I was like, yeah, fair enough. But I just think for me, man, like, we played well against Anfield. You know what, Anfield, flawless. Yeah, we played well for the first half. I think we had a couple of chances. Rashford should have scored. And in the second half, I'm seeing Bruno Fernandes get the players in for a huddle. And I'm like, listen, that don't count for shit, when you're going to throw the sinker. So I'm like, what is this huddle? This fake kind of almost like, oh, we've got the mentality. When in reality, they go in 10 minutes in the game and it's the same old mess. Everyone's out of position. Everyone's careless in possession. And it's just like, how do you go from that to that? Like, just like that. And I'm like, what is it, Flawless?
What, in regards to the players and why we just don't perform well away from home? Or are you talking more so about the Wolves game?
Specifics in the first half compared to the second half.
Yeah, we've been like that because mentally we don't have it. As soon as the going gets tough, too many of our players hide. Because you mentioned it, in Spurs in particular, the first half, we actually played all right. We was decent, should have been ahead. Because one of the biggest criticisms I've had of this team and still have of this team is 2 things. One, who's creating for us, who's scoring for us. Creativity actually wasn't a problem against Spurs, in particular in the first half, because we created enough, but then scoring goals is a problem for us. And we've seen that from last season. And then one thing I noticed is as soon as Spurs scored, Anthony, I think, went right down the other end, hit the post. And then we didn't create anything else until Palestri came on and we should have had that penalty. So we've been creating for an hour. We've been threatening for an hour. We've been getting into good opportunities and creating good moments for a whole hour. And then as soon as we go a goal down, it just disappears. Mentality. But that ties into what I've been saying for the longest. These players are just not good enough. And when people turn around and say, I expected something different. It's the same team. I did Mason Mount. It's the only outfield player that is different. Højlund is not there currently right now. So Højlund could change that. We've added Mason Mount. We've took our only potent attacker and are now playing him out of position. Not defending Rashford because he should perform better wherever he's playing. Whether that's striker, 10, right wing. But we've taken someone who is certified in terms of scoring goals, of just being a threat. And now he's out of there. And all of a sudden, we don't have goals. I'm saying, if you total up Garnacho, Mount, Bruno, Anthony, that's our front four. Well, our attacking four with Rashford. Between them, they don't have 20 league goals from last season. Mount got 3, Garnacho got 4, Anthony got 4. I think Bruno got 8. 2 or 3 of those was penalties, so he got like 5. So why are we shocked when this team doesn't dominate games and doesn't score goals? I come back to the same thing I say every time we're on the show and you ask me the question. These players are just not that good. Simple as that. And we've unbalanced the team even more. Because Mason Mount, like I've spoken on your show, and there's been so many super chats over the summer months telling me, Flawless, why are you negative? Why can't we challenge? Let's wait and see with Mason Mount. 2 game weeks. And people are already like, nah, don't run, don't trip. You know what I'm saying? Everybody who was on board with that signing, horrible signing. And we all knew it was a horrible signing. He's playing no different now to how he was playing at Chelsea. He was in North London on the weekend when we got beat. If you take him to West and put him in a blue shirt, it's the exact same thing. We watched him. It's the same shit.
But he was our marquee signing. He is our marquee signing.
And that's on the manager. As much as I back Ten Hag and I like Ten Hag, that's on the manager. He's made an error there. He's looking like he's also made an error with Anthony. So in regards to Spurs, should have took our chances, but goal scoring has been a problem for us for the longest amount of time. We got 58 Premier League goals last season. And then people act surprised when we had Mason Mount and still can't score.
Yeah.
Don't get it.
And by the way, big up to Jose. He's saying here, I'm a Benfica fan, and I'm not even going to pronounce this, but this is a new keeper. Vlachodimos is awful. He's a Spanish David De Gea, not even a starter anymore, because apparently Manchester United are prioritizing a second choice keeper. Here it says exclusive. Man United are now exploring a move for Odious Vlachodimos, who's expected to leave Benfica. Vlachodimos top of Man United list in a backup in case Dean Henderson joins Crystal Palace or Forest. So again, in case he leaves, I just think for me, what are we doing here, man? Let's go get a midfielders, man, because I'm very, very concerned about that midfield, man. I generally think for me, like people can blame Casemiro, and he didn't really have a great game. I'll be honest with you, like he didn't have a great game, but there's reason is why his game is now becoming a bit. Honestly, it's like almost like I don't know what his purpose is in that midfield now, because he's not getting to do what he's meant to do, because he's having to cover the cracks of the other two that are leaving spaces in that midfield. And people can say yesterday, Mason Mount, he played deep and he won the ball here and he done this and that. And I'm like, I didn't see it. I don't see it. I really don't see
Saeed,
it.
He had 14 passes in 84 minutes. 1-4. 14 passes in 84 minutes. I think he had 24 touches in 84 minutes, playing in central midfield. 24 touches he had. Hiding. That's what he did.
Yeah.
Hid.
Yeah.
Fish and chip Donny van der Beek, mate. I said it last week. He's the fish and chip Donny van der Beek. I seriously don't understand this signing at all. I've never, and this is the thing, you get called, how can you have a go at him straight away? How can you not back him? Like, fair enough, the manager wants him and he plays for Manchester United, that's fine. But I've never rated this guy. I've never liked him. He's not a player that I've ever backed. So the fact he's playing for Manchester United, and I don't understand why Erik ten Hag has this fixation with buying 10s and making them 8s. Like, what are you doing? Like, go and buy an 8. Go and buy a 6 that can play as an 8 as well. Like, we could fix this midfield with 2 simple signings. Go and get Amrabat and go and get Gravenberch on loan with an option to buy. And then we're sorted. We've got 2 options there that are come in and, for me, possibly start. I think Either of
being
them.
kind, fam. I don't think it's possible. You know what I'm saying? I think me and you got a shot, double A. If they signed us two in that midfield, you know what I'm saying? I think we got a shot at starting the way them two playing. We'll go on, carry on, sorry.
No, you're right. And maybe I'm just overreaching and being a little bit too positive when there's nothing to be positive about. You know, it's kind of trying to find the light at the end of the tunnel. It's just, it's a worry that we just don't know what we're doing, and that's what it looks like. We don't know what we're doing on the pitch. We don't know what we're doing off the pitch. It's mad.
It's all around. It's clueless, man. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you know, this big up to Iliteno, Eric Ten Hag's playing Sam Hoofball. I don't even think it's even that. I think it's, you know what, trying to fit in so many players in that he feels that he can't drop. You know, he can't make an excuse for. You know what I mean? He's bought Anthony for 90 million. He's bought Mason Mountain, and he feels like he has to fit them in. It's square pegs in round holes. That's what it's called. He's trying to do too much of that, and it ain't going to work, Ten Hag. And his stubbornness, listen, I heard about his stubbornness, and I didn't want to hear about it. I was stubborn. I was stubborn to hear about his stubbornness. You know when you don't want to believe something, yeah? And you're like, nah, Ten Hag's going to be adaptable.
That's brilliant, Saeed.
You know what I mean, though?
I was stubborn
I didn't want to hear about it. Yeah, because I was being stubborn. Like, nah, he's going to be adaptable, man. He go learn, man. And he still has time to learn, because, again, I'm not going against the manager. But what I'm trying to say is, that midfield for me is not going to work, man. You can't have your world-class player not be the standout, but then you're allowing other players in Bruno Fernandes and Mason Mount to be the savior for Man United. It's not going to work. Have an adaptation area or adaptation period for Casemiro to let him blend in and let's see what we can do with him, because he's the vocal point of our midfield. He is. So why are we letting him drown? Your main guy, you're letting him drown. I'm like, that don't make sense.
And him drown,
and Anthony's another one. He's pathetic for me. That performance yesterday for me was pathetic from Anthony, and I'm trying to defend him as well. And I'm just like, you know what? Sod this. Put Palestri. Start Palestri against Forest. I'm at that point now. Me, you know, start Palestri against Forest.
I love that.
The thing is with Palestri, yeah, like the kid has come on and he's never put a foot wrong when he's come on. He's looked our best attacker yesterday when he come on. Him, and listen, you can talk about Martial as much as you want and whatever, but when he come on yesterday, again, he's shown Martial in that little cameo how to play the number 9. Straight away when he come on, we looked like we could hold the ball up in the top of the pitch, and he was dropping in where there was one part of the game right near the D. There was acres of space near the referee, and there was 5 United players on the line of the box. Not one of them was thinking to drop in and collect the ball. As soon as Martial came on, he was doing that straight away, and it's these little things that are really starting to annoy me with this team. The IQ is low. I mean, not to offend anyone, but they should be on a special bus. That's how low the IQ is at the moment. Like, it's just getting
wild. No, I'm not. The MUFC Unfiltered podcast, by the way.
Sir, I apologize. But I'm just this is how I feel like about this team. Like, there's certain things that they can't do, and they're proving it week in, week out. And we're giving them too many excuses now. We're like you said, we're being stubborn about these players who essentially look like they don't care. That second half was really poor in that we saw it all the way through last season. Sometimes, as soon as he went a goal down, their heads dropped. We never looked like getting back in the game, and that was exactly the case last season. Now, the only thing I can give Ten Hag credit for is I know for a fact that that's not how he's put it, that he's not asking the team to do that. Straight away, we saw that goal go in, and it was hoofball. It was punting it up to players who can't play up top and knock it down and keep the ball and hold it. None of them can do it. So we're bypassing the midfield because the midfield wasn't there. It evaporated. So we just have to. The fans just have to start calling out these players, because at the end of the day, they're getting paid. People keep saying about Rashford, about coming out and saying he doesn't want to play 9. I don't care, mate. Every other player will say, I'll play wherever you need me to play for the team. I don't care, goalie, whatever. Even if you don't believe it and you don't mean it, say it, because people can't beat you with it then when you're stinking up the gaff at number 9 and you can't trap the ball and you're running into players like you're on the bumper cars at the fairground. Like, Just say you'll play where the manager wants. You don't have to mean it, and you can go to the manager and say, "Listen, I don't want to play there. I don't want to do that. I'll do it for the team, but I don't want to." That's fine. Don't do it in public. And people saying, "Yeah, but you got to ask the question in interview." Yeah, but in them interviews, as we all probably know here, there's a list of questions that get sent to his people, and they look through it and say, "We're not going to answer that. We're not going to answer that."
Right.
So anything that's going to lead you to look like a bit of an idiot, leave it out and just pass it and move on. And don't, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be in there, because now, already on social media, you're seeing that people are saying it all. Well, what he's in the wrong position. He said he didn't want to play there. Don't say it, and just do what you need to do for the team at the end of the day, because it's not about you, Rashford. You may be on the biggest wage, you may be seen as a franchise player, but when I see two performances like you've done against Wolves and Spurs, mate, you need putting on the bench. But that's not going to happen because of the situation that we're in, and it's up and down. The more you look into it, the more we talk about it, the more you realise that the kitchen really is on fire. Really is on fire.
Yeah. Big up to Ryan. He says, "Big up Saeed, double A and flawless." Big up to you, my guy. He says, "Amrabat definitely needed. Our current front three all want to be heroes. They are selfish." I couldn't agree any more with that one. That for me is so true, And I've said it before. Like, these players needed to trust each other and not just all want the glory moment. But it feels like it does. Like, they all want their own glory moment. Like, the certain situation where Garnacho's being greedy and he's not passing first time. Anthony doing too much. Rashford not helping the situation as well with his touch, and the way he's again backed against the wall is not great as well. So it's not good enough from all three of them, man. Like, let's be honest. Like, Rashford's overall game, it leaves a lot to be desired, man. It does. Yes, he got the goals last season, and I'm not discrediting that, but I think his overall game again still iffy. Luke Shaw again, like, I'm tired. 9 years. How long has he been here? 8 years, is it? And yet he does the same thing.
We need to give him more time, though. You know what I'm saying? He's been here 8 years, but we don't know his level, and we need to give him more time.
What is it with him, though? That when
he's just not good, Saeed.
Side.
He's just not good. That's just what it is. He's just not good enough. Centre back, cool. As a left-sided centre back, as backup to Martinez, no problem with him whatsoever. But as a left back, as a fullback in the modern day era, he's not it. When you look at all of the fullbacks, or the vast majority of them, pre-pause this, his body shape. Look at how he's built. That's not me calling him fat or saying he's overweight. I'm saying look how he's built. When you look at fullbacks in the modern day era, they're slim. I think Reece James keeps breaking down. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason for that. Reece James built the same like him in regards to, you might have centre backs. You know what I'm saying? If you look at the likes of Alphonso Davies, a Cancelo, a Trent, a Robertson, they're all slim in shape. Augusto, today you watch, when you look at a Ben Chilwell, etc., the list goes on. So yeah, with Luke Shaw, we having the same conversation still. Oh, this will be his year to do something. He's just not a fullback of the highest quality. He's not world class. He's not top class. Let's cut it out.
Yeah. You know what? What it is for me? Yeah, I think with Luke Shaw, I think for me, like, this is what I'm saying. Like next season, the fact that we're swapping and changing the fullbacks, it just for me won't work. But this idea that Luke Shaw can't come across here and is being a coward again. That's what he is. Yep. He's being a coward again, letting Garnacho deal with it while you don't come across and deal with the danger. Did you see today? I don't know who was it today. I don't know. Is it Edson Fernandez? I think it was Alvarez. He came on straight away, yeah. He seen that there was a danger. He came across it and ran to that ball and he cleared it off the line. That's the level of desire you have to have every single game if you play for Man United. That should be the standards. And away from home, I'm like, who are you, man? Like, at home, it's okay. Luke Shaw's unbelievable, apparently. But when it goes away from home, yeah, you know what? I don't fancy it today. That's Luke Shaw to a T. It's when I fancy it. It's when I want to do something. Or you know what? I'll turn up today. No, you turn up every game, mate. And this is what I'm saying about Luke Shaw. This is why people say, oh, he's world class and this and that. I'm saying, based on what? What, at home? Based at home?
Feelings
okay, fair enough.
That's
then.
what it's based on. Feelings.
World class at home. That's what it's called nowadays, yeah. Okay, say no more. You know what I mean? And listen, we can call out Erik ten Hag. And for me, I think what's going on right now is that he's being stubborn. He needs to understand what's going wrong, what's going right, and form an understanding that is going to be better for his team. Because I tell you what, man, I don't think I can deal with this type of football anymore for me in terms of, you know, the level of football we're playing right now, it's not coherent. Like, it's not what I'd imagined. But I let it blind last season because we won a trophy and we got third. And I'm not saying I've had enough completely, but I'm just saying it has to be better. There has to be, for me, as a Man United fan and as someone who's got a big platform, I can't tolerate this in terms of the football and the brand we're doing right now. I can't. It's just, it don't sit with me. I come out the ground, I'm like, yeah, but we won. Like, I can't do that for me. I have to be open and honest. That's not good football. Like, Wolves, they got beat 4-0 by Brighton, and we made them look like prime Barcelona.
But you're not wrong. We've played two teams that have got brand new managers, and both of them have got styles of play. We've got nothing. We don't look like there's anything that got. And I'll be honest with you, it's been the same. Ole, Jose, Van Gaal had a style of play, but let's be honest, it was put you to sleep football, wasn't it? But
rigid.
And do you know what? I think a lot of it comes down to the fact that when our new manager comes in, he's not allowed to clear house. He doesn't bring all the team that he wants to bring in. We've got coaches that have been there since Van Gaal. Like, how are we meant to move on and go with the times? And yeah, bro, I did not know that. Jose wasn't allowed to bring a new team in. Ollie didn't bring a new team in.
I thought it was all these guys.
Bro, they're allowed to bring in like 3 or 4 guys, and then that's it. And then the rest of the coaches have been there for years. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Well, that's with Ollie, that guy. What's his name? That set piece coach. What's his name?
The one he brought in who's terrible. I can't remember who it was, but I can't remember his name.
I forgot his name, people. Let me know in the chat. Like, again, him, like, but listen, talent ID for me is a big question mark over Ten Hag now. Yeah. Because I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, he's been given everything that he wants. Let's be okay, he probably wanted Harry Kane, but that we can't really control. Because at the end of the day, Bayern Munich have got their man and they wanted him and they pursued him. End of the day, right? He wanted Rasmus Højlund. He's out now injured. He's wanted Onana. He's got him. He's got what do you call it? What's the main guy? The Mason Mount. Anthony on the right. Like, he's putting Garnacho on the left. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's how bad he is that you forget his name, yo. Man said,
I forgot his name. I'm forgetting everyone's name because you know why I'm forgetting everyone's name? It's because I don't recognize them on the pitch. So I don't know who's who nowadays. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you. I get what you're saying. With Ten Hag, like, because like the super chat said, like, we're only not even half an hour into the show. Ten Hag deserves criticism, of course, for picking the same team again, like Saeed mentioned in regards to his stubbornness. He's going to make mistakes with signings, people. I'll have no issues with his signings apart from Mount and Anthony. They're the only 2 signings we've made where I go, yeah, that's not it. Anthony's like, you have to deliver this season. Second season, I said I'll give you, but he's looking like a miss. Mount, I didn't want in the first place. But other than that, all your other signings, I don't have an issue with. Obviously, Onana's coming, looks decent. Højlund, it hasn't played yet, so I can't criticize. Malacia was 12 million, no issues. Eriksson was a free. Martinez, what's understood ain't got to be spoke about. Casemiro, what's understood ain't got to be spoke about. I don't think I've missed anyone. I think so. I don't really have an issue with that. It's more so the application. Like, going with the same team again. I really don't get the Mount signing. It's really still... It baffled me originally, and it still baffles me now. As much as I think he's a bad player when you look at him within the team. Because him and Bruno just emptied the midfield. But we knew this was going to happen. So, that's legit what it is. But it is on Ten Hag. You know what I'm saying? But we still need more. Don't get it mistaken. Even if you want Ten Hag gone, which I think is crazy for anyone saying that because it's too much.
Yeah. I think if
a new manager was to come in, he would still need more players because it's not like these players are good enough. So, like, that's what it is. I understand Ten Hag getting criticism, fully get that. People talking about styles of play, kind of get that. But then again, like I said, it's the same team minus Mason Mount, which is on him. Yeah. I put that signing on him. So, it's tough, but we're only 2 games in one of which we won. So, yeah, we'll see.
Big up my guy Omar, man. He says here, shout the gang, patience though on the system. I'ma stay optimistic. Once it hits, it's gonna hit. Big up Omar on that one.
I hear the
big up Lewis. Yeah, these players' mentality stink. Varane and Casemiro, and City signed Kovacic. We signed Mason Mount from Chelsea. You know what it is? There was a stat today. I think United 6 big chances created or something like that in the Premier League. I think was it yesterday? Or I don't know if it was the whole kind of season. But obviously, we've only got 1 goal to show for it, man.
Wait, say that again. They said we created 6 big chances over the 2 games.
I think so. Let me check here now.
So yeah, double check that because one was obviously the Varane one, and then the other one would be the Bruno chance. Maybe the 2 Rashford ones that were very similar. The one against Wolves and the one against Spurs. That's 4.
Only Brighton and Newcastle. Brighton have got 9 big chances created this season. Newcastle have got 8 big chances created this season. And only them 2 have got more than Man United. 6. We've got 6 so far this season. And obviously, it kind of raises questions about a striker.
Varane 1, Bruno 1, the 2 Rashford ones, 1 against Wolves, 1 against Spurs.
Anthony?
Who's the other 2? I won't see that the Anthony one. This is where this big chance thing mistakes me. I don't think that's a big chance.
No.
He's done well there. That's not where he's shooting them like. It's awful for him to miss. Like the Bruno ones I look at and go, you should have scored that.
Casemiro as well. Casemiro. The header.
That's just a great save.
It's a big chance.
See, to me, this is where I'm mistaken because with me, at big chances, you should have scored. Like Bruno's chance, for instance.
Should have scored.
Bruno's one I look at and I go, you should have scored.
By the way, how did he miss that?
Because he's Bruno Fernandes. That's why he missed it.
It was harder to miss than score.
Because he's Bruno Fernandes. Because he's Bruno Fernandes. Even the Rashford one, the one against Spurs, I think was a big chance. The one against Wolves is a tight angle. Even though it's similar.
But you need to chip it there, though. That's the problem. No, but you don't have no IQ to chip it over him.
He tried to chip both of them, and I think the Spurs one he should have done better. But the one against Wolves, I don't think he should have done better. But this is this whole myth. That's why I'm asking about the big chances. But even if it's 6, that's not enough over 2 games of football. So we're creating 3 big chances a game. That's 1 every half an hour. So what are we doing?
Jesus.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
It also
and
shows
people say this.
Premier League is
that's
so far.
the thing inside, though. People will say, "Oh, we create so many chances." So you saying we created 6? I dispel the 6, but let's say that's right. So over 2 games of football, we've created 6 big chances. That's 1 every half an hour.
That stinks.
Yep.
But people will tell me this team's creative and we need better strikers. No, we don't have creativity in this team either.
And he's brought another 10 in that's meant to add creativity.
And you don't.
It's less.
Because he has 8 open play assists in 4 years. So here we are. You know what I'm saying?
It's absolutely wrong.
It's
terrible.
No, facts. It's spot on, man. I got a couple of super chats here. Garbo Staunton says, would you prefer mid-price players who play for the badge or overpriced players who play for the badge? Because you seem the most to most of the latter. Listen, I just want quality. I don't know if that translates.
This is doing too much here. I just want quality. Give me Casemiro's and Martinez's and Varane's. Yeah, give me them.
I don't care about the price as long as they're good.
Quality,
price means nothing. We just need good players. We ain't got enough of them.
That's what I'm saying. We need good players, like not quantity. Not like Man City's squad, when you actually deep it, they don't have a big squad. But you know what they have? They have a group of 14, 15 good players. And I mean good quality players. Like Alvarez is part of that squad. Alvarez scores for the only goal in that Manchester City game versus Newcastle game. Like Foden actually is part of the squad. He isn't a first teamer. He's part of the squad. But what he does is he has a man of the match performance against Newcastle. You see, when you talk about impact and when you have your chance, you take it. Yet we're bringing on players and they're ghosting when they come on, or they have zero impact. You see what I mean? Or when they get given an opportunity, they don't take their opportunity. That's where we're at right now. And it may be that Sancho is a solution. It may be that Martial is a solution. But I tell you what, we'll go back to the same evolving question. Every time, consistency, inconsistent, you're not. It's like a revolving door, man. It's the same old repetitive bullshit. Ultimately, they're not good enough. Let's be honest.
Well,
you said it. Go on,
you're absolutely right. I've watched games. This Premier League it's worrying this season because these teams, like I'm watching Villa, and I'm like, Villa have more of an identity. Villa would absolutely batter us. They looked absolutely fantastic today. That front three, the midfield, even the defense. They've got a left back who plays some of the best crosses I've ever seen in Lucas Digne, who might even be going. And I'm like, bro, our team could not even dream of having passages of play like they have. And you got Brighton, you've got Spurs yesterday, you saw it. Arsenal, bro, we could be lucky to finish 9th this season if we continue. Everyone's saying, yeah, be calm, and it'll come. What? We've not seen any of it. Not even seen one little bit of it. We've not looked good in the first half. Was okay, and I think, but what we're judging that off is Monday. So yes, it looked a lot better because of the stink that we saw for 90 minutes against Wolves. But listen, I worry about the Premier League this season because Manchester United, if it doesn't start, the turnaround doesn't start to come, and we shouldn't be waiting 2-3 games.
You know what's mad? Sorry to cut you off, Double A. I think what you're talking about is the physicality and aggression in midfield. I think that's the worry bit for me. The turnovers that Man United just get destroyed. Have you noticed we're always 1v1 or 1v1 or we're getting exposed?
Well, people on this very channel told me that Mount was the answer and I should back it. How many super chats came up over the summer months when we was on this channel, Saeed, telling me, why am I so negative? Why can't we challenge? Let's wait and see. We haven't watched Mount play before. Now people want to jump off the ship. Nah. Don't run, don't trip, stay on board. Because when that ship was leaving the dock, and I said, yeah, this ain't really it. Everybody wanted to, not everybody, plenty of people wanted to tell, oh, why are you being negative? So now the ship's got some holes in it. Now you want to jump off board. Now stay on and patch that shit up. Let's not do that. He was never the answer. And I keep going back to him, and that's on him, and that's on the manager as well. And we need to rectify that. You mentioned there the lack of aggression and physicality in our midfield. We knew this. We were talking about this before the Manchester City game. Before every game, pretty much, on this very show, at this time, every Sunday, we were talking about our midfield issues, talking about our lack of creativity, talking about our lack of attacking quality. And we've not addressed it, obviously, with Højlund not being fit yet. I know we've added Mason Mount, who is bang average, who imbalances the midfield even more.
Who could we have got instead of Mason Mount? Let me just. I'm gonna give you one answer. And he was playing yesterday, by the way. He's playing
James
yesterday.
Madison. Who I said I was.
James Madison.
I said
James Madison, mate.
Joe, we should have got, and he was playing on Monday against us, and he was the best player on the pitch, Matthias Nunez, and we could have got him for 40, 50 million. Someone said that to me yesterday, you know.
Bro, someone said we should have got him.
He was doing everything on Monday. He was doing everything that our midfield,
physicality, aggression.
He was half turn, running at our players, absolutely decimating our midfield, going 20, 30 yards with no one around him. He was doing everything that we can't do, and we spunked all that money on him, and we've chased him all summer when we needed a striker. First of all, that should have been the main thing. And again, you bring Madison in, but Madison's, again, it's a player where Bruno plays. So you're worrying, where does Bruno go? It's a square peg in a round hole. When we needed an 8, a ball carrying 8, that's what we've been crying out for. And for 2 summers now, we've papered over them cracks buying number 10s and putting back as an 8 who can't play there. The worrying thing for me about Mount, and I do this every time I see a player from a big 6 or a big club go to another big club, is the reaction of the fans. Now, you would have seen it with Lewis, and I know a few Chelsea fans, Jay from Retro, they're absolutely buzzing the tits off that he's gone. They can't believe they got rid of him for 60 million, 55 million, and that's a worrying thing for me because big clubs don't want to lose big players who are important to that team. The fact they're so happy lets me know Mason Mount isn't all that, and I'm yet to be convinced that he's got the stones to play in a Manchester United shirt, and I just don't see where he improves us. He just doesn't. And yes, some nice little touches. And I saw something on Twitter the other day, and I was creasing because someone was putting. I thought it was a compilation. I thought it was like a 3-minute compilation of his great moments from Wolves, little stuff that he'd done. It was one clip of him running back and like closing down a ball. I was like,
saying, man,
what is this? Is this what was being served up? And we've got to accept this. Like, oh, mate, I mean, listen, say what you want about him, and you can love him and you can expect him to be great. You need to show me how and what he's going to do to this team, because at the moment, I'm at a loss. I'm massively at a loss.
Yeah. No, I agree, man. Guys, there's 2,000 people here, and we've not even hit like 1,000 likes. This is Mount. pass completion rate, man. Come on, guys. We can't be doing this. Hit the like button. It helps the algorithm, people. So the more people like the video, the more it gets out there on YouTube. You then trend. You then, reach other people on YouTube. So please, everybody right now, bottom right corner, it looks like a thumbs up button. Hit that like button. Zayn Biassi says here, Chelsea United spent nearly $2 billion on players and don't have a decent striker.
Neither do Arsenal.
Boy, neither do Arsenal. Let's be real. You might have got habits. So the joke's on you, my friend. You know what I mean? Abdishek says, if I see the same field again, it's Ten Hag out. How have we gone from Frankie de Jong to getting Mason Mount? Why after one whole season we don't have a style of play? We'll discuss that as well. 1 second. King Stash says, can't believe he subbed off Wan-Bissaka instead of Martinez. Wan-Bissaka are only assist this season. Wan-Bissaka better midfielder than Mount. All right, listen, that is, I don't know what to say to that, man, because at the end of the day, he had to try something different with Dalot. That's the only reason I can give it. And Zamia says here, Mount Casemiro will be slaughtered by Partey, the African Roy Keane, and Declan Rice. Oh, here we go. But listen, let's see what you can do in it. Bring it on. 2 weeks' time. Let's see if you have the same energy when we win or if we end up getting a positive result. So
it'll disappear like Arsenal when the going gets tough.
Like
that's
Arsenal,
what I'll do. Yeah, it'll disappear like Arsenal as soon as that bottle's gone. You know what I'm saying? That's what that is.
Yeah.
Hey, big up Grizz.
And don't worry, Liverpool, man. Grizz can't. I'm telling you now, Newcastle will beat Liverpool next weekend. You heard it first, people, man. And then what happens is there'll be a meltdown in your fan base. So don't worry, man. Everyone has his day. Don't worry. But you know what? It's the super chat before here talking about if the manager chooses Mount, Casemiro, and Bruno Fernandes again, he's going to become Ten Hag out? And I'm like, I think he will go with it against Nottingham Forest because it's Nottingham Forest. And I put that respect. No, but honestly, guys, I genuinely believe that he will go with the same midfield against Nottingham Forest. And what will happen is we'll win the game. And I'm sure I could be wrong, but I'm just saying we'll win the game hypothetically. Yeah, hypothetically. And what will happen is everyone's like, oh, it worked. We had a great game. And then come Arsenal game, he'll play the same midfield and we'll get absolutely slaughtered. That's what's going to happen. So this false idea and this false feeling, I don't buy into it. This is why Amrabat needs to come in now. But I'm hearing we're linked with Veratti. I don't know if you see the morning. We're linked with Veratti. L'Equipe are reporting we're linked with Veratti of PSG. I'm just going to pull it up right now.
Is this actually, so this is legit? Because I got told this in the last stream. Shout out to Months Big 6 months. I didn't believe it. This is genuinely linked. Hey, get him in. I'm a big fan of Veratti. Yes.
Are you sure it's what we need?
Yes. Yeah, the only question mark I have about him is the injury record. He seems to get injured.
Well, there you go.
But I don't know. That's me. I need to do my research, so the chat will let us know. But that being said,
pull his record.
Pull up his injury record and his appearance records. Number one, number two. What's the price? What are they saying in terms of price?
Well, he's not wanted. Apparently, he's not wanted. So,
hey, PSG. Everyone's leaving PSG.
Well, it's so reactionary.
It's not great reading. It's not great reading, mate. Let me show you this. This is in the last season, by the way. Look here, 22-23, 14 days out, 2 days out, 14 days out, 12 days out through injuries. Look, calf problems. Look at the last season before that as well.
I'm having a look right now. We'll see.
25 days out, 35 days out. Bro, listen, you know what you got to realize here? This is the Ligue 1. This is not the Premier League where it's a level above. You're looking at today, yeah? Chukwuemeka got an injury today just by literally an impact injury. He's done his knee. He's probably done his ACL. That is the level. You see it today with Coutinho. Do you see Coutinho today? He went in for a tackle and the defender barely touched him. And the impact of it, because now the Premier League is a lot physical and it's aggressive. He's going to get absolutely fouled every single week and he won't be able to hack it. You've got to realize how bad this Premier League is. And that record for me, I just looked at his appearance. We won't be able to enjoy.
Yeah, it wasn't pause. It wasn't the best, but that was wild side. But yeah, it wasn't.
What did I say? I don't know what I said. But yeah, forget it. I don't know what I said, yo. But my head's up, man. Because I can't be asking injury-prone players, man. I don't even know what I said. Allow it.
Double A heard it. But yeah, as I was saying quickly, that's why I asked the price point in regards to Veratti. Veratti is a quality baller. Don't get him mistaken. I've been sold on him. He's one of my favorite central midfielders. All about the price point. If we can get him on loan, I'll get him cheap. I would run the risk. We don't have no choice.
For me, it's another Rabiot for me. It's another Rabiot. It's reactionary. It's desperate. It's showing. There's no surprise that this is coming. There's been no links with him until yesterday. There's a reason for that. Obviously, the chat it's PR spin to try and link us with someone. And listen, Veratti was a very good player 2, 3, 4 years ago. Now, I think it's a Saudi move waiting to happen, really. Go and get that bag. I don't think, like you said, Saeed, I think he comes to Premier League. I think he struggles. I think right now, I don't think he either doesn't play, gets a Sabitzer, not an injury prone. Sabitzer wasn't an injury prone player, comes here, 2 or 3 injuries in a short space of time. I don't think he comes here and does anything at all. And I think, again, it's the wrong profile of player. It's not someone we need. Like I say, for me, Amrabat in, and go and get Gravenberch on loan. That's what we need. We need 2 players like that. That
makes sense, That really makes sense. I'm with that, If that can happen, I'm with it. Get Amrabat and then get along. But the thing is,
why not
with Bayern Munich? But the thing is, again, it's about use. You'd rather have use rather than he's better than someone, but then there's no use.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but Double A mentioned it there, and he said, in regards, we look desperate. We are desperate. You're right in what you're saying. We would look desperate with this signing, Double A. Yeah. But we are in a desperate situation. We have Bruno Fernandes and Mason Mount in our midfield. That's the current situation we're in.
You're right. I think these better desperation signings, and I think the 2 I've mentioned, the 2 that can be done. I think this just screams. This screams a Woodward signing. Go and get Schweinsteiger, who's past it, who Bayern Munich are happy to get rid of. That's what it screams of to me.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's the thing for me. Veratti 5 years ago would have been an unbelievable signing, but now I'm sorry, I'm willing to now just not think about names and be like, you know what? He's a good controller. He's tenacious. But I'm just looking at what the manager is going to be able to get and what we got right now as well. Like, it just won't work. That's why, at least with Amrabat, he has to, for me, the manager has the situation where, know what, for now, Amrabat and Casemiro and then one of Mount or Bruno. But he won't do that. I just look at myself and I'm thinking, he won't do it. Like, I don't think he would ever bench Mason Mount. Like, just say, what, you're bench now. I can't think in my head he's going to bench him. I can't.
He can't though, because he's come in. He's his marquee signing, the first signing he's chased all summer. He's given the number 7 shirt. What I potentially see happening is he'll keep with Mount or Bruno on the left. Rashford stays as the 9, and then because listen, if Amrabat comes in, it'll be a Casemiro situation where after a few games you realise you cannot leave this guy out of the team. Casemiro proved that last season, and once Casemiro gets that help, we start to see Casemiro be, at the moment, he's a scapegoat. Manchester United have to have a scapegoat every single season. Last season, it was De Gea. Right. This season, it's looking like it's going to be Casemiro, unfortunately, after a great season, what he had last year. So when he gets that help, because we're asking him to do things that he can't do, and he shouldn't have to do it. Amrabat comes in and can play that 8 role and looks unreal, does more than what Mount can ever do. He'll play every week. So then you're worrying, right, like you say, who gets dropped, Mount or Bruno? Bruno's the captain, Mount's the marquee signing. I think Garnacho drops to the bench, and then one of them 2 are shoved out to the left-hand side, maybe right-hand side. It's square pegs again, isn't it, mate? And I think we've really backed ourselves into a corner this summer, not getting the right profile of players in, not getting rid of the dead wood quick enough. And, what was building up to be a decent summer is probably a 4 out of 10 for me, I think. And I'll say this, if we don't get someone in, I assume we will, but if we don't get someone in, and this is what we go in the season with, you look at the Fred transfer as being a massive error, because I'd take Fred over Mount right now, absolutely in that midfield all day long.
You know why you say that? It's because off the ball, you're getting probably more out of Fred than you are getting out of Mount at least. Yeah, I mean that's the situation, and that's so bad that we are thinking like that. It's an absolute disgrace because you know why? United should move forward without having to look back. Why is it only at Man United you move forward and then you also look back as well and you're like, oh, we should have kept him. Like every season we talk about Paul Pogba returning back to Man United. Why is that the case? Like why? We shouldn't be thinking about Paul Pogba. Like these comps here, as much as I like them and I appreciate Paul Pogba, but we shouldn't be thinking like that. United should be moving forward. You think Man City are thinking about Javi Garcia from 5 years ago?
I mean,
or Fernandinho.
Sun Ji High. I mean,
Sun Ji High. And who else did they got, man? You think they're thinking about them?
Taking it back.
Dickoff, Paul Dickoff, and all them lot. They're not thinking about the players.
They said he was the problem. That's all I've seen on Twitter all day. Who gives a damn about Paul Pogba? Can't even play for Juventus, man. Like, get out. Go
exactly, man.
Do something with your life. Sort yourself out, man. Jesus.
Yeah, man. Sham says we have Havertz, but both wingers score 15 plus goals and are elite. At what they do, so do chill on us. Yeah, listen, this is the thing though. I can't guarantee you 15 goals from Anthony. I don't know about you guys, but bro, let me ask you a question. Yeah, I know we're giving Anthony a full season. I get it. We're gonna give him a full season, but bro, I don't know if I can do it anymore, man. This right foot, man. Like, can someone please in training just teach him? You know, I see Bailey today. You know Bailey for Aston Villa. He's left-footed, yeah, but the guy goes on his right, and I'm like, he put the ball across on his right, and I'm like, it's not even like it's just training. Is it going to help, or is it just you know what? He has got no right foot. Like he hasn't.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I don't know.
I worry about him.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, no.
I'll be honest with you.
Giving him the season is all well and good, but you can still critique during that season because that's where I'm at with him. And currently, right now, he deserves criticism after those two performances in particular, the one against Spurs as well. He has to. You just got to step up, and if he's not good enough, you just got to hold the L and keep it stepping. That's just legit what it is, and it's looking like he's a Mason Mount sign. Yeah, it's gonna happen. As you mentioned, Manchester City, Pep has big L's like Claudio Bravo, like Calvin Phillips, Nolito. Sergio Gomez, Ferran Torres. The list goes on. Like, this is what I don't get with Ten Hag. No manager's gonna sign 10 players and all 10 are gonna hit. If you get 7 or 8 out of them, that's what you're aiming for. That's a good rate. That's a good conversion rate. Now, 3 out of those 10 hit.
What about with the mix with Shara Shites though? What about in the mix with players that aren't good enough?
Well, that's where we are. But then that's on them moving those players on because we know these players are not good.
That's what I'm saying.
We just mentioned Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw needs it. He's just one of many who needs to be moved on or shifted to just, he shouldn't be playing left back. So that's what it is with Ten Hag. That's why I give him a little bit of grace in regards to that. Every manager's going to have misses. Anthony's looking like he's a miss. Mount, I believe, is a miss. So you need to rectify that now. And then don't miss next time.
It's worrying as well when these players are constantly missing, and we've got people on the bench desperate for a start in Pellistri, and people can talk about Pellistri a lot and everything. Yeah, but you've not seen him playing this and this. Like, he's not been given a chance on it. And United fans, we go back to, again, sorry to go back, but we go back to Donny van de Beek when we were crying out for him to have 3, 4, 5 games in a row. He'd never even had that to see what he could actually do in a Manchester United shirt. Yes, he eventually had it last season, did absolutely nothing. Why is Pellistri not getting this chance when players are constantly stinking out of the place, not playing, not doing what is needed, not having variation in the game, not being, you're right winger, you're expected to be attacking, you're expected to be a danger. You don't look a danger. You're a danger to your own team. That's what you look like. So when you've got a young player that comes on and keeps showing more than what the senior players are doing ahead of him, and this manager's meant to be ruthless. You go back to last season, and Rashford was late and was on the bench against Wolves. Yes, he came on and scored, but that we was all buzzing for that. Finally, a manager is doing what's right for the team when a player's not right or a player's not doing this. He's taking out your best player to show that I'm in charge. Where's all that gone? And I can kind of agree with him starting the same team yesterday in that he's obviously battered him in the week and said, you players here need to go and show that you've got it after that performance. And they've not done it. So now he needs to make some serious changes in this team to show these players who think that they can start whenever they want and start every single week that they haven't got it like that. And that's not how it's going to run. I'd change the full front three. Me, Sancho, Martial, and Pellistri would start for me on Saturday. And everyone's talking about Martial. Yeah, but Martial, if he's not fit enough to start, he shouldn't be on the bench at all. I don't care about this 20-minute stuff. If he's trained for a month solid, he has to start. If he breaks down and you have to replace him, then we know where we are with him, and we know that we can't rely on him, and we know that he's a 20-minute player, and that's fine. But at this moment in time, with no proper number 9 in this team that can play in the position well enough, you need to go and do something about it, and you need to start players that have something to prove to get in the team, rather than that are starting in the team that think they have nothing to prove. Then that's where I stand on it for sure.
You know what? I want to raise a point. A big up to Zami Assid. Flawlessly have no players that can be Ballon d'Ors. Arsenal have Saka, Martinelli, Rice, Saliba as future contenders. All United used to have world-class players.
Yeah, Old United used to have world-class players. Win the league, then. And Old Arsenal used to have world-class players. Now you're just banking on you lot are just the new Liverpool. It was Liverpool in London. It's happy being runners up, man. That's where you better at, man. Number 2's in it. They were super saying Luigi, you're Ken. You know, like you have Ryu and Ken, and you're just a better version of that. That's where you're gonna be. So enjoy, Zane. Big up, big up.
Yeah, big up, man. You know, there was a video, right? With Mourinho, and he was talking about it. I was discussing it today on a watch along, and he said, that he would rather have specialist players in positions rather than having kind of what Ten Hag alluded to Mason Mount as being multifaceted and multi kind of functioning. Like, where are you, man, on? Because end of the day, I don't think we have enough players that are specialists in what they do in this team anyway. So this idea that Ten Hag's asking for players to be multifunctioning, I'm just like, you don't know, again, it just seems to be a lot of square pegs in round holes. Like, you're just trying to fit things in there for the sake of it. You're trying to adapt things when reality you haven't fixed the foundations of the team just yet anyway. Like, on the ball, off the ball, like, I don't get it. And this is why, for me, with the Ten Hag situation, you're asking him to do a lot of things, but is he actually good at one thing? Let's be real. And that's where my thing is. So which one would you rather have? Double A, start with you. Like, are you more multifaceted, multi kind of function, or are you specialist in what you want to do?
I get that sometimes in a squad of players, it's okay to have certain players that can play different positions, but the majority of your team need to be, because what you're talking about is jack of all trades and masters of none, and that's
there you go.
You don't want that. You don't want that. You do want specialists. You want people that say, right, I'm a right winger, and that's all that I'm the best in this position. When I play in this position, I'm the greatest. Not I can do a job there, but I can also do a job on the left if you need me to. I get if the manager needs you there, you do it, but you need that mix. I think in a squad game, you need them players that can fill in here and fill in there. But the majority of your team, I think we've got one of the best CDMs in the world right now, but no one's helping him, so he's looking suspect. And we're putting a left winger who can't play 9 at 9, and that is showing the weaknesses in this team. We're playing a 10 who can't play 8 at 8, and we're suffering for that, aren't we? And I agree with Jose on that one. You need them specialist players, because when they're in that position, they're gonna give everything, and the knowledge and the experience and the nous is in them certain situations. At the moment, we look like we can't do it in certain situations, this team.
Yeah. Florence, what are you saying?
Double A said it best, man. Man of many traits and a master of nothing. That's the problem with our team. Our squad is full of squad players. Squad players are the ones who, some of the squad players you look at and they go, all right, they might be able to play multiple positions and do multiple things. But you need the vast majority of your whole team, pretty much your entire 11 as well, need to be masters of some. Bring me specialists. Only in football do we have this type of foolish discussion. That's what I call it. Nowhere else in any other profession at the highest level would we discuss in a team not having specialists in that position. Why don't we have having a goalkeeper who is a specialist in that position? Same with fullbacks, centre backs, and throughout the team, the whole team up until the striker. That's the problem we have. And that's why he's talking about Mason Mount like that. Because you know why? If you asked him to name what's special about Mason Mount, he couldn't name you anything. Jack shit. Because that's what he is. A man of many traits and a master of nothing. And what's the crazy part is, we have the Portuguese version. We just went and got the English version. Because Bruno's like that. Man of many traits, a master of nothing. That's why when people start talking about him, they start talking about stats rather than his actual ability. What is that man good at as a footballer? Don't bring me goals and assists. What's he good at on the ball? In particular, we're talking about specialists. So you're an attacking midfielder. So give me the attacking attributes on the football that you are good at as a player. Same reason I don't need my goalkeeper to be the best crosser of the ball. No, Can my goalkeeper? What's my goalkeeper like? Basic bare minimum of goalkeeping, basic goalkeeping duties, saving the ball, coming for crosses, or a command of the area, communication. Then you get to playing out from the back and all those things. Bring me specialists in each position, and this is my problem. Too many of this. These jack of all trades, master of nothing. Because if you're a specialist at one or two things, that can cover your deficiencies in other areas. Because we all know the deficiencies in Rashford's game. But guess what? If you play him in the correct position, you'll get results. Because he's a specialist in certain things. When it comes to running in behind, he's a specialist at that. Rashford is one of the best in the world, best in Europe, I should say, when they're spacing behind on the counter-attack. He's the last player you want running. Because more often than not, it will lead to a goal or assist. Now, we know all the other deficiencies, like in terms of decision-making, back to goal, overall passing, link-up play, etc. That's the problem. Anthony's like that. What does he excel? I use the word excel all the time. What does he excel at? Bring me players who excel at things. Varane, Martinez, I can name you what they excel at. Casemiro's the same. Onana, to an extent, from what I see, is the same. That pass he hit to Garnacho, that crossfield pass was incredible. Other than that, there's very little. But then this is the same group of players that people will say, oh, they can challenge. They can topple City. Bring me specialists. Bring me quality.
Facts. You know, I got a couple of super chats here. Big up to everybody who's here, man. 2,000 people on the show tonight. That's amazing numbers again. You guys ride out for the channel. You guys show support, man. So please, let's get to 1,000 likes. It'll be a good achievement to get 1,000 likes. We're on 719. Thanks to Stephanie for the count. Big up to Stephanie. But 719 likes. Let's get up to 1,000 people. We could definitely do that. Final third says, how many times have we seen Shaw being off it mentally? Martial not been fit since Van Gaal. Sure, the manager has responsibility, but we need to get rid. I'm not going to lie to you. That contract situation is on Ten Hag because he's given him a contract. I don't personally think for me we should have gave him a new contract. But listen, for me, it's a revolving door around Luke Shaw. Like every single time when he gets a new contract or he seems to get his position back on after being taken out of the team, he goes back to revert back to type. And that sometimes you can't change someone's mentality. It has to come from within. Yeah. So yeah, he's spot on, mate. He's spot on. Big up to Brian Haynes says, and Mourinho got sacked at United too. Talk is cheap. Different managers have different philosophies. I'm willing to give Eric Ten Hag time. It's been 2 games, lol. Yeah, perspective is needed, 100%. You are spot on. But also, like I said to you, you know, we do have to have that conversation about things that are not seem to be changing in terms of the midfield balance, in terms of why we're not having balance up front, why certain personnel not being in the team. Them questions we can ask. Just Waffling says, what do man want Eric Ten Hag to do if we don't have a sporting director that can trust? You can see Liverpool struggling now; they've lost theirs. I would have to trust myself to do that under chaos.
Don't sign Mason Mount. That's what we want you to do.
Yeah.
Start
there.
Yeah.
Don't chase him for 2 months, innit?
Yeah. That's option 1. But just sign better players.
Yeah.
No,
there's a video that I'm going to play.
Not even sign them, just identify better players. Just identify
better players. Don't make horrific errors in that sense, in that one. Because overall, I think he's done a decent job, but we move.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a video I'm going to play of what do you call it? Ralph Ragnick. That he basically was talking about the players that we need to bring in, and we need to have 6 or 7 players that come in through the team, and it has to be a wholesale change, and players have to leave. And you know what? I sometimes feel like, you know what? Was it really Ten Hag or was it really Myrtle? Who was the reason why a man who had excellent talent ID in the fact that Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, Julian Alvarez, we're talking about top players now that you see go for big money. Who was the reason why he really went? Was it really because the manager wanted his own ideas in, or was it John Myrtle? What happened? Because we had a good guy there, and it's not going to be one man to change a football club. You see it with Man City, Khaldun Mubarak, Tixi Bernstein, Soriano, Pep Guardiola. There's 4 people that are with the football club that are consolidating the football club and where it should be. Not one man. It's not one man. I've just named you 4 people that are in around the football club. So why this idea that we were naive to think Ten Hag could fix it on his own? Yes, the Glazers should go, but then allow a structure to happen. Where's the structure underneath it? That's why I asked the questions from Ten Hag and who actually wanted him to go. I don't know. Was it Myrtle? Was it was it the other guys? It's just
I think he was on the chopping block as soon as he let us peek behind the curtain, and he started to come out and tell everyone exactly what all the fans have been thinking for God knows how many years. Once he started exposing the Glazers for what they are and proving, when Ranić he was known in certain, deep in people that are really into football, but the wider football community or football fans didn't really know who he was. So when a virtual unknown to most people comes in and starts to say, wow, Manchester United are like this. This is how Manchester United are being run. Yeah. This is what we're seeing. Yeah. And then they don't want that, do they? They're so scared of their contempt for the club and the utter shambles that they've run. They don't want people actually seeing what actually goes on, even though we all know and we can kind of guess. So once he did that and the open heart surgery comment needing 10 signings, it doesn't matter what Ten Hag says. At the end of the day, they were not going to allow him to carry on in any aspect of the club. Once he'd said what he'd said, and the fans were really behind it because that's what we wanted to hear. That's what we've wanted to hear for a long, long time. So, listen, we all know that Murta and Arnold are Woodward's mates. Arnold especially went to uni with him. It's all jobs for the boys. It's all a boys' club. They're all mates at the end of the day, and they all keep everything in house, and they're always going to keep the secrets. That's why. There was rumours we looked at Van der Sar to come in, but they were worried that he would start to ask questions a lot like Ranić did, and that's why it never went any further. So nothing's ever going to change until these owners go, and we don't know whether that's going to happen or not. And until that day, we will never move forward. It's rinse and repeat. It's that three-year cycle. It seems like it's happening a lot sooner with Ten Hag. And he will invariably be let down and he will invariably lose his job. And that's the trajectory that he's on. Because, again, like I say, until these owners go, nothing's ever going to change because they don't have the interests of Manchester United at heart, really.
Yeah, big up to Kieran Daly says, are you guys not worried? Erik Ten Hag is signing players for him. What happens if he gets sacked? It's back to square one. Again, that's why I said we badly need a DOF who is signing players for the club, so any transition is smoother. I hear you.
No, with the owners we have, there's no long term. It's all I look at us and go, let's try and get short term success. Because we're not set up for long term success. We're not set up to go and compete and win Premier Leagues back to back, or go and try and free or win Champions Leagues back to back. It's one and done. That's what it is. It's short term success. There's no long term success with the current structure we have. Word to Norridin, that's legit what it is. So as bad as it is, if Ten Hag was to be sacked, you're right, we would be stuck. However, we're fucked anyway. It don't matter.
All right, mate. All right, flawless, man. You dead me down, huh?
Yeah, serious, that's just what it is. Ten Hag stays, he goes, he don't sign players, he sign players. We still, it sucks with these owners. That's just legit what it is.
Yeah. United all the way. Big up to you guys. If he beats allegations, we need to buy Paqueta. I'm sure he'll be cheaper, and he was a poor class today. Great ball carrier and very creative. Swap Bruno for him and add Mount as a bonus. And by the way, you know that player that you were talking about, Double A? Well, Liverpool today, I think this has come out now within the last couple of minutes. Liverpool have held talks with Bayern Munich for Ryan Gravenberch. That's the latest now, apparently. Just within the last couple of minutes, I think is it David O.C. Kopp. Liverpool have held talks with Crystal Palace for signing Chuck Decore. Talks also held for the Ryan Gravenberch, according to Simon Jones. So listen, we've got to be quick. If you want to be quick, you need to be quick, man. And that's the issue that United have got, man.
There's rumors that we're his first choice. If we was going to go in for him, obviously that Ten Hag relationship holds some weight. That's really winning. And that's what I'd say. Someone commented, obviously, I'm getting the Gvardiol shouts all day. Thank you for that. That's never boring.
You genuinely look like him. No, that's the crazy
bro, I know.
Look like Gvardiol.
I know. I mean, of all the clubs he could go to, why would he go to Man City?
I know.
Someone just said, why is Mo Salah in the at stream, unless he's talking about what he needs to. Well, I ain't got the hair. I ain't got the hair to be Mo Salah.
I don't like Mo Salah. Yeah, right, cool.
I've got the left foot.
And flawless ain't Arab as well, so I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I've got the left foot. I've not got the hair, unfortunately. My dad though, before my dad had dreads, he had afro. He looked like Mo Salah. We went to the semi-final against Spurs, 2018, and someone was like, "What are you doing here, Mo?" And listen, my dad's not happy at the best of times, and he nearly punched the guy's head in. To be fair, but yeah, that's all forgotten now. But I don't look like Mo Salah. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Big up to the final third. He said, how many top level managers will fail here until we agree as fans on what the constant problem is instead of blaming them? If you ever managed before, boards force you to lie for them. And listen, Glazes out, man. Listen, that's the constant theme throughout the last 10 years.
It's definitely Glazes out, but let's not like the managers we sacked to top level managers then. And when I say that in terms of where Manchester United are trying to go, Manchester United are trying to pick the 1% of managers who can help us win Premier Leagues and win Champions Leagues. That is the aim. Moyes got sacked and is now at West Ham. Van Gaal got sacked, went and managed Netherlands. Mourinho got sacked and is now at Roma. None of those clubs that I mentioned there, in particular the two clubs, not the country, the aim is not to go and win Premier Leagues and Champions League. It's the 1%. Yes, you don't have the best possible platform here, but that's not an excuse for some of the things those managers did, and that's not an excuse for some of the things Ten Hag has done, even though I backed Ten Hag. Mount was his signing. Anthony was his signing. Like, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? We should be performing to a better level. You should be making better decisions. So it's not all on the Glazers' fault. It's not the Glazers didn't put a Casemiro, Mount Bruno midfield together. They didn't play a front three of Anthony. Yeah, they didn't play a front three of Anthony, Garnacho, and Rashford. That's not on them. That's the manager. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, he's spot on. To what his top four is over, have a feeling locker room in chaos. It's not over, to be honest with you. Come on, man. We can't be like that and just say top four's over after 2 games. Come on, man. That's crazy. We're
in a better position than we were last season. If we want to look at it and take a positive from something, we lost the first 2 games. At least we've got 3 points on the board. So if you want to have any positive, at least we're in a better position. The only worrying thing is, I mean, Brentford was horrendous last season, a lot like yesterday was to a degree.
Yeah, similar feeling, man.
It can only get better.
4-0. Yeah,
it can only get better.
Yeah, tomorrow, I don't know if you heard, but tomorrow we might hear the Greenwood announcement. Apparently, they're saying David Ornstein said on the NBC that we're expected to hear an update on Mason Greenwood as early as tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what they'll do. Do you guys think they're going to bring him back, or do you reckon it's a loan? Like,
I quote tweeted it with a gif of Uncle Phil kicking out Jazz from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So that's what what I think is going to happen. I mean, listen, after big up to Adam Crafton, because his reporting and journalism and his handling of that whole story has been absolutely fantastic. I don't know if you've read his report.
I've seen that.
Has been and United tried to get ahead of it, and he said he tried to change the narrative. But listen, I don't think Manchester United can afford, especially what's going on now on the pitch. I don't think they can afford any more.
We'll tip it over as well for Ten Hag in terms of. It's not his decision. Apparently, it might be part of his decision in terms of whether he brings him back to the first team.
I think he's been forced. I think he's been forced to it. He can't get rid of Maguire. He's told Maguire to go. He's accepted bids for Maguire.
Yeah, Maguire.
Bids for McTominay. McTominay
fake injury, by the way. This fake injury from Maguire. Fake injury. Bro, he ain't got no space for the coach, man. There's no coach space for him, man.
Yeah. Get him gone. I don't want to see him nowhere near my team ever again. He's a disgusting human being. I don't need a court to tell me that he's guilty or not guilty. We saw the videos, we saw the images, we heard the voice note. And it's not his first time, is it? We know stories that he's done previously in the club. We've tried to cover up for him. It's scum, and I don't want, we're down bad as it is. I don't want no scum playing for Manchester United. Thank you very much. Move on.
Yeah.
Stand we're going to see tomorrow. On that. I've made my thoughts perfectly clear. I can only echo what Double A said on it. I don't want to hear this. It's not footballing debate with me, so that's why I don't even entertain the other side. This is not. We're not here debating if Ten Hag's a good enough manager, or if Mount's a good signing, or getting the best out of Bruno, etc. This is much more than that. It's where my moral compass is at, and my moral compass, I don't deal with that whatsoever. Like anyone who's like, no, he shouldn't be playing again for Manchester United Football Club. Like not in the slightest what he did. I've seen enough evidence. Like I said, like I've stated this before and I state it again. Don't want him to play for the club again. And how the club have moved is crazy because they've done everything in their power to me to try get him back. And then they realized the online backlash, according to reports. Like, what did you really expect?
And then you
tried to put it onto the women's team, and then the certain women players then started getting abused. Like, why is it on them? No, you stand up and make the decision. And if you want to bring him back, you own that. Don't put it on the women's team if that is indeed the case. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on it. I think he'll be moved on because it's a PR disaster.
Yeah, it was a PR
disaster for United. Yeah, it would be. Yeah, but if there was no backlash, I think they bring him back
situation as well. Yeah, then you got the whole new Anthony situation, which I don't know whether that will get into too deep on that one. Like I said, that's another situation that just come out of the blue as well. So yeah, man. Yeah, exactly. So listen, we'll see.
Just quickly.
Yeah, go on.
Sorry, I was going to say there's a comment there saying about other players getting a second chance. Listen, for me, Mason Greenwood's second chance is not going to prison. His second chance shouldn't be playing for Manchester United. That's where I stand on it. His second chance is not going to prison where he should be, rightfully, in my opinion.
Yeah. Flawless says, you watched the Chelsea match today. If Derek and I bought the same midfield as Bowley and they had the same West Ham or Tottenham performance, would you have the same complaints?
I'm confused by the question. I don't get it. Explain.
So
further.
It's basically saying if you had that same midfield, would you have the same complaints about the performance?
What if Chelsea? If we had Chelsea's midfield, or are you saying they bought? So if we had Caicedo, Lavia, Caicedo, I'd be over the fucking moon. That's where I'd be at if we had those three as our central midfielders. So we haven't seen it yet. So that's why I was confused by the question. But I'd be over the moon by that because that is our bad boy midfield. Now it does lack a little bit of goals, but then you have a base to work from. I wanted Caicedo and I wanted Lavia. I'd have took Lavia. We should have been all over that. For the price he's at and the age he's at and the ceiling, and it's the same with Caicedo as well, even though he cost a little bit more. So yeah, that's why I was confused by this super chat. It didn't make no sense to me, but we move.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. Listen, we're gonna see what this team is about, man. They got a week to train. Yeah, a week to train. That's what footballers do. A week to train. But let's see what they learn. If they learn anything, if they understand what they're doing, if they comprehend, if the manager comprehends, if they, I just want to see that they've learned something, like in the week of training, how to press better, how to keep the ball better. Just learn something. You know when they say to you, have you took anything away from today's lesson? Like today's podcast today, have you took anything away from it? And then everyone will be like, yeah, I did. Then you come back the next day and you didn't take anything away from it. And it's the same old shit. And then it's like, you didn't listen, did you? You didn't listen to that podcast, did you? You didn't listen, did you?
Yeah, they ain't listened to us all summer. When I said about this thing, why are you so down? All right, we're going to create and score so many goals. All right, sure. 6 big chances, yeah? In 2 games. A big chance every half an hour, but this team's full of creativity.
Yeah, there you go. And then obviously, the Henderson situation, he needs to go as well. So everybody that needs to go. Just see you later. Bye-bye. And we can move on and find some grace in the Man United right now. But guys, we're going to wrap it up here, man. It's been a good show, man. We've overran, but it's been a good therapy again. Still 2,000. Can we get 1,000 likes before we end right now? Like this, let me just check the like button right now.
Likes, man. Hit the like.
It's 883.
Bump up the
883. There's 1.8k in here, so it means that 800 odd of you have liked the video. But then obviously the 1,000 other people have not liked the video. So please, was it my manager playing Russia number 9? Listen, we've talked about that. I don't know if you've been here. Yeah, watch the video, bro. Watch the video back. But yeah, guys, like the video if you can. That'll help the channel massively. Double A, it's been a pleasure, mate. I'll see you at Forest. You there, Forest?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Even though I could probably do so much better things with my time now. Obviously, I love being a United fan and watching the boys. Yeah, of course I'll be there, man. I'll come and see you before we go in, obviously. But yeah, big up, Saeed. Thank you. I love being here, man. I'm glad to be back after a couple of weeks away. Not my choice, just happened. Big up to Flawless as always. Good to chop it up. Big up the chat, best chat on YouTube. Yeah. I do football content now. I know lots of people. I know talking kit, king of the kits and that. But I got another channel now, AA SC on YouTube, and it's a little bit more of a. little bit more of just looking at football a different angle. My last video was 5 players for United I feel need to have a big season. I could have done 25, but let's just chop it down to 5. That's up there. So yeah, if you just search AAFC, go and subscribe. That'd be nice. I've barely got any, so if you can do that, I would massively appreciate it. Get me up there as quick as possible. And yeah, mate, thank you. Have a good week. And yeah, as always, subscribe to Saeed and Flawless, because these 2 guys are really leading the way for us all. So yeah, big up everyone.
There you go, my people. Make sure you subscribe. Links in the description. Link is right there as well. So make sure you subscribe. Sarcasm City, man. Big up, bro. Love us always, man.
Love for having me as always, Saeed, man. Much appreciated. For real, for real. Big up Double A. Always good chopping up with you as well. You lot, make sure you subscribe to Double A's channel. And make sure you subscribe here, because Saeed doing great content, giving his platform to multiple content creators, helping out, including myself. So big up to Saeed each and every time. Big up the chat. Follow at Sarcasm City TV. Well, yeah, follow at Sarcasm City TV across all socials, but subscribe to the YouTube channel, Sarcasm City TV, live every day. Subscribe, follow the Twitch as well, live every other day. Obviously, Manchester United content on there, over Premier League content. Just check out the upcoming live stream schedules. Let you know all the shows that are coming up during the week, and live at midnight, people. Live at midnight, Sarcasm City Sports Q&A. We're just answering your sporting questions and recapping the weekend's games just gone as well.
Yeah, make sure you do that, people, man. Follow these guys, man. Like I said, not only follow me, but follow these guys. Follow their content. I'll be back tomorrow, midday, people. Lee Gunner, me, Lewis, and Sather, which should be fun. And I'm probably going to get cooked. But yeah, make sure you check us out. Midday Live, me, Lee Gunner, LB, and Sather. Make sure you like the video on your way out. And yeah, listen, another day, another Man United.